Okay, so I'm just gonna leave where I am right there, and also that is a old joke. Just so we're clear, if anyone ever sees that and be like, "What is said dude?" That's an old youth ministry joke from when I was in my home church back in Killeen. So continuing from the last video, the fact that we have been going throughout the trial, the betrayal, and now the denial of Peter. I think it's important to look at the events that came because he was very hot-headed, and within the other gospels, it mentions that it was in fact Peter who cut off the man's ear, and that actually just it fits the situation, and so with his hot-headedness, and so when you look at this, I find it very interesting how he goes from cutting a man's ear off, saying to Jesus, I will go to death with you." Uh, and then obviously he's heartbroken when Christ tells him that he will deny him, but then he does that exact thing. So if you read with me, there it is. Oh, that's weird. I thought I fixed that. Weird. Ignore that. Um, okay. Well, it's not going away. So ignore the Lord's Supper area, but let us read this. I thought I edited that earlier. While Peter was in the courtyard below, one of the high priest's maidservants came. Now it's a maidservant, so that's the first one. When she saw Peter warming himself, she looked at him and said, "You also were with Jesus, the man from Nazareth." But he denied it. "I don't know or understand what you're talking about." Then he went out to the entryway, and a rooster crowed. When the maidservant saw him again, she began to tell those standing nearby, "This man is one of them." But he denied it. Well, he doesn't say again, but he denied it a second time. After a little while, those standing there said to Peter again, "You certainly are one of them, since you're also a Galilean," which is kind of just like, I don't know why that has anything to do with it. Like, it's like, you're Galilean, cool, but that in our perspective, it's different than theirs, because from their perspective, being a Galilean meant you knew each other, you were connected in some way, shape, or form. Uh, Villages or countrysides or just certain things were different compared to here, because here in the Fort Worth area, for instance, I don't know every Tom, Dick, and Harry that comes around, and I think that's a good way to put that, because there's a lot of people that we don't know. There's a lot of neighbors. There's a lot of people that we're not close to. We are familiar with, but we're not very close to. My neighbor, for instance, because my duplex, it's to the front of me, which would be to the right if you're looking at the house this way. Um, Always something on this road, like I mentioned earlier today. And so, but when it comes to the denial of Peter in this, I think it's important to look at how it sounds just strange, but the fact that first it was the maidservant, and then it was the maidservant again, and then after a while, there were, and now it doesn't say who it was the third time, but they were like, It has to be you." Then, following up in 71, then he started to curse and swear, "I don't know this man you're talking about." Immediately, a rooster crowed a second time, and Peter remembered when Jesus had spoken the word to him, "Before the rooster crows twice, you will deny me 3 times," which I find interesting when you Think about it. Because yeah, it says twice. We don't think about that. We just think about the rooster crowing at the very end of it all, not the rooster crows and then he denies crows, denies crows, and then he remembers. I think it's important that maybe like another aspect that we don't have. We don't have the answer of if he didn't do this, would have things been different? So, uh, I think it's important just to look at the just how he fell from kind of metaphorically fell from grace here because he bawled not too long after this and he cried and felt miserable about this. And however, 3 days later or so, he comes face to face with the Messiah again, and he is asked the question, Peter, do you love me 3 times? And so I think that's important to look at that. Now, uh, I'm trying to see because there's three little details within this last section that aren't just verses that are throwbacks to making references to other aspects, which obviously are important. But within my Bible, there's quite a bit in there. So like follow the middle there. That's a lot of references to go back to. Not all of those are in one spot, but uh, in 1468, where it mentions the entryway, it's actually the forecourt, which I'm not good with, the temple areas or the, high priest court or whatever. But I think it's important to, if we do understand it, if we do have like a visual aid, which I'm more than willing to do when we get to that again in a heavier study, that we can dive deeper into that. So, but there's that, and then other manuscripts omit a rooster crowed. Now, I find that interesting how where is it? G. So after the entryway and a rooster crowed, so some just omit that completely, which I find interesting again. But then H, no, I'm sorry, G first. No, that was G. I'm sorry. uh, Other manuscripts add your speech shows it. So that is probably another connection to what we've discussed a little bit from before the Tower of Babel to the Tower of Babel itself, having the different locations, different areas, but also the fact that many languages and many vocabulary, as I speak English and people in the South speak English. My English from Chicago is different from that of the South. Now I've been in the South for a very long time, so there's not much difference nowadays. But there is many still there is difference. But there's that, and so that is all I have. Well, that was aggressive. Again, a change with the study of Genesis coming Sunday, hopefully. Mere Christianity, the next chapter. We are not behind by that. Watch the last video and to be caught up for this coming Wednesday. Don't forget something that I haven't mentioned in the other 2 videos, but something I did mention today in Sunday school. We are having the luncheon at on the 10th of December, and I encourage everyone, if you can, to bring a favorite snack or a favorite drink or something. Um, I'm going to kind of go with that. We're most likely doing pizza. I will be checking within the next week, just in case if the parents that because the parents are always invited and I want them to be there if they want to encourage something else. So if they do encourage or do request or ask for if we wanted to do something else, I'm more than willing to listen there. But if not, I think pizza is what the what the end game is going to be, and with it being the last luncheon, we are going to do quite a bit. And I encourage everyone to invite your friends, invite your family's friends, invite your relatives if you have them that like in the area. Invite them, invite everyone, invite literally everyone that you know, and give me a number count. All right, you keep on doing what you got to do, and you have a good rest of your Sunday evening.